Today, we are going to be comparing a Journey Together ETB with this Korean Battle Partners booster box. Now, the reason I'm comparing these two products is because that their dollar value is pretty similar. This Journey Together ETB retails for $55, I believe, and goes for around $70 on the market, whereas this Battle Partners booster box goes for about $45 depending on where you're buying from. Now, what you get from these two products will vary quite a bit. Now, if you're familiar with ETBs, ETBs in the Scarlet and Violet era will come with 9 booster packs and a bunch of other goodies inside. Now with the Korean booster box, you are going to be getting 30 packs of Battle Partners. Each booster pack will have 5 cards each, and we can go ahead and take a look at the difference here. So quick little rundown before we start opening up these packs. For our Journey Together ETB, which retails for $55 and goes for about $70 on the market, is going to be 9 booster packs, a promo, a couple extra goodies. And for our Korean Battle Partners booster box, which goes for around $45, is going to be 30 booster packs of 5 cards each. So let's go ahead, get into these booster packs, and start comparing some of these hits. So we have first pack magic here with our Journey Together, Sprigatito, Drampa, Alolan Marowak, Weezing, Brizion, Pangoro Reverse, Parasect Reverse, and our first hit of the day is our Amoonguss EX Double Rare. Now, if you weren't familiar with the release schedule of Japanese sets, Korean follows the same as Japanese. So English sets are generally comprised of 2 or 3 Japanese sets. There are some sets, however, that are going to be almost 1-to-1. So Battle Partners and Journey Together is going to be one of those occasions where the sets are pretty similar. The only thing that will differ are going to be the commons, uncommons, the normal kind of Pokemon cards that are in the card list. That'll have the biggest difference, but for the most part, the main kind of art rares, the double rares, and the special illustration rares or special art rares are going to be the same. And I think there's a double rare here, a Hops Zacian EX. Now, one thing that is going to be different about these two products is that the ETB will not have seeded pulls. So for example, the Korean booster box is going to have around 3 art rares, 5 double rares, and 1 super rare or special art rare. So that is going to be coming in as we get our first full art trainer here, Brock Scouting. Also, shout out to this Kecleon, very cool art. I like this one a lot. And then we'll go ahead and open up 3 Battle Partners. But yeah, like I was saying, generally in a Korean booster box, you'll be looking to expect about 3 art rares, a special art rare or super rare, and then 5 double rares. And that's going to be pretty consistent with Korean booster boxes. Now, of course, something similar does happen with English booster boxes and also Japanese booster boxes as well. So ETBs are kind of extra, I guess, like fun in that way where you can get a lot of hits from an ETB or you can get absolutely nothing in an ETB. And I've definitely had a mix of both. But that is also why ETBs are kind of my favorite like English Pokemon card product, because you get the promo, you get all those other goodies inside of it, and the box makes for a nice collectible as well, as we get a Articuno art rare. Oh my goodness. Alright, first art rare in the books. We also have our ends PP up in Korean, so this is also going to go to the side. Alright, so far, this is a pretty good day. I have my Brock trainer here and an Articuno art rare. Not complaining about any of these. We have our Durant. And let's keep running through this. Really cool Bombardier art. Articuno. And ooh, a reverse holo ends PP up. And nothing in this one. Now, one thing with the English card products, as you all know, is that it is pretty hard to get your hands on them, at least at retail. So that is one thing to consider. So luckily, nothing there. Luckily, I was able to get my hands on some Journey Together ETBs for retail, but that does not mean that it came easy. Now, these ETBs are really hard to track down right now if you are in the States and depending on where you live. But let me tell you, the amount of targets that had to be visited to even find a single one of these ETBs is a part-time job in itself. It might honestly just be worth paying the market price of 70, which I mean kind of stings a little bit for 9 booster packs of Journey Together. But it is what it is right now, and I think that is why I've been focusing so much on Korean Pokemon cards because, well, for one, it is a little bit more available as we get our Dunsparce EX Double Rare. Now, speaking of how different sets comprise English sets, so Destined Rivals is coming out, I believe, in a month or so, and that is going to be made up of 2 Japanese sets, which is going to be Heatwave Arena and Glory of Team Rocket. Now, Korean follows the English release as we get Hops Zacian, super rare. Love these full arts. I'm so glad that Pokemon changed up these full arts a little bit by adding the trainers with the Pokemon on these. This one's super nice. Wow, I really like the colors on this one. Wait, this is such a nice card, actually. Now, the main reason I do these comparison videos is to kind of highlight just how good of a value Korean cards really are. Because, I mean, $40 to $45 for a Battle Partners booster box, and you're getting 30 packs. You're getting pretty consistent hits. Obviously, if you're able to get your hands on a Journey Together booster box, you will also get pretty consistent hits out of that. But those booster boxes are pretty expensive. I mean, 160 retail and around 230 for the market price. So what we're talking about, like 5 Korean booster boxes is the equivalent of 1 Journey Together booster box. So now all that to say, I haven't fully abandoned English Pokemon cards just yet. I think I still will be collecting at least, and when I say collecting, I mean also opening these ETBs. I just love the ETB as a product as a whole. But behind me, you can see just all of the ETBs that I've opened in the past. Ton of ETBs. I'll probably keep opening ETBs as long as I can get my hands on them for at least retail. Destined Rivals, I don't know. I'm kind of afraid of how easy or how difficult it's going to be to get my hands on an ETB, but we'll see how that goes when the time gets here. But I'm not looking forward to it because even Journey Together has been a nightmare where we get, yes! An Ionos Kilowattrel. Oh my goodness. You guys, the Battle Partners Journey Together, it might be my favorite set from the Scarlet and Violet era. I just don't think there's a bad, I don't think there's a bad card in this set. Like, really, just look at this. Now, I know this isn't a fair, 1-to-1 booster pack comparison. Obviously, I'm comparing by the dollar value, not by, pack to pack. But I just wanted to highlight just how much value or how much, fun you get out of a Korean booster box, right? Like per dollar that you're spending, especially in today's market when each dollar does kind of matter. And it's crazy because even Japanese has been getting extremely expensive, extremely expensive. If you guys have been seeing how Glory of Team Rocket pre-orders have been looking for Japanese, it's kind of a nightmare. And I also know there's a lot of questions about Korean card quality. Now, when people talk about quality, I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about as we get a Volcanion double rare. Are we talking about print quality, card quality, card consistency, quality control? Of course, there's a lot of things that kind of go under the umbrella of card quality, but I would say the card stock is different. Korean card stock is going to be a little bit more glossy compared to English cards. But when it comes to the actual print quality, I mean, I'll show some of these art rares in a second. The hits, so art rares, full arts, the special art rares, they are honestly pretty similar. It's pretty hard for me to tell the difference in the card quality when it comes to the bigger hits. When it comes to the commons and uncommons, commons and uncommons are probably where you're going to be noticing the biggest difference in how the card feels. Yeah, that's where you'll feel a noticeable difference. But I think it's because Korean cards use a different card stock for their hits compared to their normal cards. I'm not sure why they do that, but it is true. And there should be at least one more art rare in these sets. So let's see if we can pull that here. Ting here. And I believe we have our art rare here. The Noibat art rare. I've been looking to pull this one. Is there a single bad pull in this set? I honestly don't think there is. Every single art rare, every single full art, every single special art rare in this set I think is worth pulling. Now that's true for Journey Together and Battle Partners in Japanese or English. On to our last pack. Now this one is hopefully a lucky one because it was packed upside down in our ETB, so I set it aside. Obviously hoping for a big pull here with any of our SIRs of this set. Like I was saying, I honestly don't think there's a bad pull in this set. One of my favorites of the Scarlet and Violet era for sure, as we get a nothing. And on to our last pack of Korean Battle Partners. All right. See if we can get a hit. And it looks like it is a normal holo rare of our Lycanroc. Alright, so that concludes our Journey Together Battle Partners comparison. So on our left, we have our pulls from our ETB, and from our right, we have our pulls from our Korean Battle Partners booster box. So with our ETB, we have our Brock Scouting Full Art Trainer, we have our Amoonguss Double Rare, and of course the promo, because you do have to count the promo as, I mean, you're paying for it, so you're getting it, so we're counting the promo as well. And then on the right, we have our Hops Zacian Full Art. Very cool card. I love the colors on this one. Actually, like, obviously the special art rare is a very nice card as well, but this one also, like, I'm not mad that I pulled this at all. Very cool full art. And then, of course, we have our Articuno. Super stoked I pulled this because I did want to compare it to the English Articuno, because I do have an English one that I pulled from a separate Journey Together ETB. Now, you guys, you're telling me that English card quality, whatever quality means, print quality, whatever, is better than Korean? I mean, if anything, these are pretty much the same. And I will admit the light is catching the Korean card a little bit better right now, so... But check that out. Like, can you tell the difference? If I were to cover the language, can you see which one is Korean, which one is English? You really cannot tell the difference. But beautiful card either way, in English and in Korean. I'm glad I pulled it in both because I do love doing the comparisons with the two cards. And let's go ahead and move on to our Iono's Kilowattrel. Love this art rare. Just a super fun one. Noibat. Love this card. Again, in this set, there's not a single bad pull, honestly. So this is pretty consistent with Korean booster boxes. You will be pulling this for the most part at least for how the pulls are. There are no guarantees in Korean booster boxes, but from what I've seen, the art rares and the double rares are pretty much guaranteed. I think I've opened 20 plus Korean booster boxes, and I think in one of those boxes I did not get an SR or an SAR, but I did get 4 art rares instead, if that makes sense. So I think it could have been an error box where this top pull was swapped with an art rare, so I got 4 art rares instead. This is what you can expect, generally speaking, with a Korean booster box, at least in the Scarlet and Violet era. If you're interested at all in Korean cards, I do sell Korean cards on my website at pokecoretcg.com. And so yeah, obviously I am biased in that I prefer Korean cards. Take that however you may. Check out the website if you're interested in Korean cards. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more Korean Pokemon card content, as that is what this channel does focus on. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you all in the next one.